Can you imagine a world without Jesus Christ in it? The things that he taught, the people that he engaged with, the things that he challenged just as a man. At age 30, Jesus walked into a ministry, which of course started with this miracle of turning water into wine. And from then on, he began this ministry. And the ministry comprised of about 12 guys that he knew by name that he called to follow him, along with some other followers. And Jesus strategically impacted and influenced his community, his country, and ultimately this world, just through the things that he taught and the way that he went about his life. And I'm thinking and sharing with my leaders a few nights ago, is it possible for us to not just give lip service to the idea that we believe that we can change our community for the gospel? Is that something that we're just going to say because it sounds good, or can we actually do it? And I think the way you do that is very simple, but profoundly difficult. I think we have to go and look at the life of Jesus and simply do what he did. That's what I believe that we're called to do, is to walk among this community and learn people's names, get to know them, and to call them to something bigger. And then I think what Jesus really did that was profoundly simple but profoundly difficult was that he called people to discipleship. And he called them to follow him and to give their lives away and to go do the same.
The reason I love this ministry is because we get to play a part in their lives of loving them unconditionally, being the support and the encouragement that they may or may not be getting elsewhere, giving them hope, because there's a time in their lives, I'm sure, that they felt like they were in a situation that seemed hopeless. And so having us to just be their support and encourage them and point them to Jesus so that they can see that their identity is in Christ. It's not what others think of them and what the world sees, but who they are in Christ.
Yeah, Young Life is a place that you can have come for the first time, or you could have come for the 50th time, and it's easy to find connection. It's easy to find people who are going to be genuine and want to know your story and want to know where you come from, where you're going, what's happening in your life. It's a place where you can be real and authentic, and that's what Young Life has to offer. Meeting in people's homes, eating meals together, worshiping together, just showing up. That's all it takes.
I just love this way of just mentorship, discipleship, and meeting kids where they're at. I think that's the thing that sets Young Life apart from a lot of other things. It's just like you literally meet the kids where they're at. You go to their lunch, you go to their football games, you go to their practices. This is why we do what we do. It's because like every kid is broken in their own way. Every kid has their own story, and they just need people to like walk alongside with them and fight for them and like point them to truth.
So we started the Baton Rouge Capernaum ministry here in Baton Rouge 6 years ago, and my daughter Paige was one of the founding group members, and we were just so excited to have something for our special needs young adults. And Capernaum is for special needs young adults ages 13 to 22. This ministry's just grown, and we've been very blessed, and it's become a family ministry. The families, the parents get as much out of it as the kids do. What ended up happening is that the ministry grew so much that we got to the point where as we had to age out some of our kids. And so we've even created a new group for our older special needs young adults that's called Beyond Capernaum. And that's its own group, and all of our kids will eventually roll into that group. It follows the same model as Capernaum, and it fills the same need in their lives: community, learning about Jesus, and being with each other.
Can you imagine a world without Jesus? Can you imagine Baton Rouge without Young Life? For 45 years, Young Life has been in Baton Rouge. Pastors have become Christians in Young Life when they were in high school. Kevin McKee at the chapel. Think of the impact that Kevin has made on this community through the chapel. Whitney Alexander, as a high school student, goes to Frontier Ranch and accepts Jesus Christ. And the impact that Whitney has made on this community, many of you know Whitney at First Presbyterian Church. And the names go on and on of people in Baton Rouge that have been loved and touched and changed and influenced and amazed by the ministry of Young Life. At Dunham, where we have Young Life presence, I'm the chaplain on the football team, and for the past 3 years, our entire football team has gone to camp. And we've begun to see guys get to know each other, guys on the team become closer friends, become honest with each other, to where now we have parents saying, hey, when is Young Life camp gonna happen this summer? We want our boys going. And we're seeing guys on that football team now become Young Life leaders and graduate from high school and go to college and come back and invest in their friends. I listen as a few of our guys of our football team talk about the impact that Young Life has made on their lives.
Like, just the more relationships, the more trips I go on to all the summer camps. I've been to three summer camps with Young Life, and every single time the community that I've grown with God has just gotten better. My relationships within, like, the spiritual, like, with God, and my spiritual relationships with just my friends have gotten better.
It was really cool. Like, I didn't realize how much of an impact as an older guy you could have until I finally became one, and I had a kid like say, I want to be your number in middle school next year, and I was the most energetic I've ever been. I got so happy, and it was because I did stuff with Young Life with them every Friday morning, and it was just really cool to me to realize that I could use God to, I could use me to shine God's light on other people, and that was cool.
What I'd like to do is really invite you into something. Just as Jesus invited Nathaniel into something bigger, I want to invite this community into something bigger. You don't have just to be a college student to be a Young Life leader. We need people to come and see what God is doing. I want to invite you into a bigger story, one that is like unfolding right before us. I want to invite you into people's lives, whether that's through your presence, through your finances, through your prayers. But I want to invite you into something bigger, something greater. God's doing amazing things in Young Life Baton Rouge, and it's really a blessing to be a part of it, and would love to invite you to be a part of it as well.